So, Dave.
Ian?
A thing happened a couple of days ago.
Oh, okay.
A thing that has not happened to me really ever. And I think we should talk about it. It's probably ill-advised to talk about it, but we're going to talk about it.
Is this... Wait, are you mistaking me for like your health teacher in high school? Like, what? Ian?
Sort of. You know what? Kind of, because someone did touch me inappropriately.
No, Ian?
With their car.
No, Ian, what happened?
In my car.
No. No, what happened? Did you get in a little fender bender, buddy?
I did.
No.
I did.
Ian, in what car?
The all-track.
Oh my God.
I have... So this is my first fender bender since I was like... Not counting putting cars in ditches. Because that I have done. If you count...
In tennis, those are called unforced errors, Ian.
Right.
You're just spiking it into the net. Yeah.
Getting stuck in the snow because you're being an idiot. I feel like those are like whatever. Right?
Yeah, that's just a thing for you and you alone. Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
That's the cost of having fun.
Yes.
Is getting a car stuck in the ditch every once in a while.
Right.
So beyond that, I have not been a fender bender. I mean, literally since I was like 20 years old, I think. I hit a tree when I was 19, and then I rolled forward at a stop sign one time, and I think the person behind me thought that I had went, and we were both like looking to our left to see if traffic was clear, and she like booped into me. That was the last fender bender when I was 20 years old. The other night, I was driving to go retrieve one of my children from one of their many after-school activities, and I was driving on 8th Avenue in Denver, just past Spear, right by Denver Health there.
Right.
And you know when you come up on a car, and for whatever reason, you could just tell by the attitude of the car,
the
vibe. That you're just like, you're not doing anything wrong, but I'm going to keep my eye on you.
100%.
It was one of those situations. And I was going faster than them. I was in the right lane because it was like, anyway, I was where I was supposed to be. They were not. And I was coming up on them. And right as I got to their bumper, they turned on their turn signal. To move over to the right. And I was like, and I made a note of it because it was a brand new BMW like X5 or something with temp tags.
Oh no.
But I saw the light go on, the blind spot warning light. Go on the rearview mirror.
Right.
On the side view mirror. So I was like, okay,
it's going to chirp at them and they're not going to come over on you.
Right. And I hesitated for a second, and then I was like, no, I'm fine. And so I started to go, and then they started to get over, like slowly, and I laid on the horn. We were the only two cars on this 4-lane stretch of road, by the way. Nobody else around. I lay on the horn, and then they just swerve into me.
What?
I just bumped. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. And it's fine. It's not even a dent. It's just like a bit of a scrape, and some of the plastic trim is a little scuffed up.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go get a quote and see if it's less than my deductible, sort of thing.
Oh.
And it was like an old lady who just, I think, new car, old lady, husband doesn't drive anymore. Somewhat concerning. Did mention during the course of the conversation that they have a regular body shop that they go to, and it's Mako.
Oh, no. And if she has a punch card at a collision center.
He can't drive anymore. And I'm feeling like maybe there's a reason they have a brand new car. and it's that this is not their first rodeo.
Right. Yeah. Caliber Collision is just in her favorites on her phone.
Yeah.
Oh, Ian.
Yeah. So anyway, trust your gut, people. When you see the vibes are usually right. Turns out.
Yep. Well, I'm glad everyone was okay.
Mm-hmm. And it was such like a thump, and I was like, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, nope,
that checks out, right?
Yeah.
You heard the thump before it thumped.
Yeah.
I
was like, no, okay, yeah, that makes sense. I get it. Yeah, and I think I did. I think I handled it the right way. I didn't get angry with her.
Well, yeah, this is you. This is Mr. Coolhead.
And I did give her a very disappointed look.
Okay.
I gave her, one of my most disappointed. The look that I usually reserve for people riding rental scooters on the sidewalk, that she got that. So that's, there's nothing more disapproving from my face than that look.
Says the man who drunkenly crashed a Lime scooter.
Yeah.
But you did it on the street.
I did do it on the street.
Where you belong.
Like an adult.
I have a 401k and I crashed a scooter on the street. My prostate medication auto refills and I crashed a scooter on the street. Okay. Well, I'm glad your day wasn't ruined. I'm glad that everyone's okay. I think it's hilarious that she was like, "Oh, another collision. I got a guy."
Yeah. I was like, I feel like that's more concerning.
Yeah.
Wow. I feel like that means this happens a lot.
Wow. I felt like something was going on. I just had an inkling. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm glad you're okay.
I've been excited to tell you about this for days, but I wanted to tell you on the show because I knew your voice would get high.
Yeah. It did, didn't it?
It did.
Google Meets is going to be like, we've noticed a tropical bird has joined your conference. We thought this was extinct 500 years ago. We've notified the people that make that Merlin app for your phone. Yeah.
AI is going to be like, just dispatch a sheriff for a wellness check based on how high your voice is.
Okay. You know, I have a little bit of a story for you that is also car related. Okay.
All right.
Do you want to hear about how I ruined someone's really special day?
I do. No doubt, yes.
Audio listeners, Ian adjusted his shacket, his corporate fleece, and you mentally and physically set up shop for this shit.
Yeah, I did. I'm excited. Yeah, I've wanted to ruin several people's day in the last few weeks, so I'm excited about hearing this.
I did not want to ruin this person's day, but I feel like if I didn't ruin it, then it was going to be ruined at a later date in a completely incorrect manner. Hear me out. Okay. All right. This will all make sense. Almost. Okay. So, my wife and I took her RX up to the Lexus dealership in Frederick because it's the closest one to us for her 40,000 mile service. 40,000 miles, 5 years. So it was like an oil change, an alignment, transfer case and rear diff fluid service, a couple other things. The bullshit cabin air filter, blah, 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 right? Further proof that that whole thing is overpriced just because we had to wait 20-ish or so minutes longer than they told us. They just knocked $50 off the top of the service just because. So there you go. Yes, it's overpriced because they can do that and still make their nut. So anyway, they're very nice, blah, blah, blah. The Lexus dealership is going through remodels, so it was more like we were in like a Mitsubishi dealership. Right? That just happened to have a whole bunch of really nice cars around. But when my wife and I kind of sat down like at a high top, just, waiting for the service, it was like 2.5 hours or so. And we noticed we sat with a view of like just kind of like a general garage area. They're like remodeling. So every space is probably not the space it's supposed to be.
Right.
Right. Except for like the service bays you drive into. So there was just this weird kind of like 3-bay garage, kind of like phantom zone that we could see through windows where we were sitting. And there was one of those big Lexus holiday bows on the ground.
Yeah.
And so we were just joking like, oh, like I'm going to go over there and like put it on me, and like just, and then we see a salesman like walk over and pick up the bow. And we're like, oh shit, someone's getting a new Lexus today. Somebody's getting surprised.
Yeah.
My wife has an interesting history with the bow at Lexus because her previous car that she had, her previous RX, she got for a crazy song because somebody had bought that for their significant other, not told them, not asked them what kind of vehicle they wanted, bought them an RX 450h in beige, had the bow on it and everything, and they did not want it. And like, so she got it as like secondary sale or whatever for a crazy discount and, blah, 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 blah. Right. So, they pull a nori green, which is a beautiful color, NX something, they back it up and then they, the guy comes out, puts the bow on the roof, blah, blah, blah. And, we're like, oh man, like, we kind of hope the service isn't done in time for us to see like this person getting their car, right? Like, so yeah. Cause it can go two ways. Right. And then then another dealer dropped a white LS off, a used LS near it. Like, I don't know, maybe like 6 or 7 feet, like away from it, parked next to it, backed in also. And, I was like, well, my wife was like, let's go look at that LS, And so like she had checked it out before I did. And she's like, yeah, go look at it. It looks like it's in good shape. And it was the all-wheel drive model, 2012, 153,000 miles on it. Like, oh, cool. Like they're turning around a used LS. It was in great shape, right? But as I'm walking back from that LS, I see that the brand new NX has a door ding on the rear passenger wheel well.
Oh,
a white door ding. Like it wasn't that LS. There just happened to be a white vehicle. Go figure, a white car at a Lexus dealership, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. But it was like, it was a little bit less than an inch long. The sheet metal was actually dented from the impact, right? Like I touched it. I was like, because I thought it was like a weird reflection or something at first. I was like, oh my God, like, like, oh, that's weird. Like, there's no way that that's a door ding. Oh, no, it's a door ding. Right. And so we're sitting there and like, we're kind of like, well, are they going to tell this person when they get the car that they have this door ding and that they're going to take care of it for them? Right. And so the salesman walks a lady and a guy up to the car. She's like super jazzed. It's her car. She's stoked. And they get in and they start going through everything. And at no point did I see anybody like go to the outside and be like, this happened, we're going to take care of it. Like none of that. Right.
Yeah.
So at one point, I don't know, after maybe about 20, 30 minutes, the salesman and the lady's husband or whoever leave. Right. And she's in the car by herself. And so I'm like, I'm going to go tell her. Like, and so I go up to the car and like, I just kind of like wave through the windshield.
Yeah. The super awkward, like,
right. Yeah. You have this coming at you out of nowhere. Gestures at Giant Ginger. Right.
Mhm.
And like, she didn't know how to put down the window. Like, so she cracked the door. And I was like, I'm really sorry. Like, my wife and I were walking past this car earlier. It looks fantastic. This is the best color to get it in. Like, congratulations on your new car. I do want to let you know that there's a door ding on the other side on the like back passenger wheel. And she was like, what? Like, she's processing this stranger giving her information all in real time. And I was like, did they tell you? I was like, did they tell you about it? And she goes, no, they did not. And I was like, yeah, like I pointed like on the driver's side where I was like, it's like right here, but on the other side. Because guess what? It's super fucking weird to just be a grown ass man and try to get a woman out of her car. So don't do that. Right?
Yeah,
just tell her about the thing and then go the fuck away. Right? You know, and let the person deal with it.
Follow me.
Right? Exactly.
Come.
Yeah. Help me move this chair into my van. Right? Get out of your brand new car. Right.
Mhm.
And so, you know, I was like, you know, like, I'm so sorry that like, you know, I was like, I'd want someone to tell me. Right.
Yeah.
And so I go back inside. My wife and I can still see where she is. And like, she gets out, she's looking around. She doesn't see it for a while. And I'm like, you know, like, do I go out there and like point it out? And then she sees
it. You get a laser pointer out and just right through the window.
Yeah. Look up here. Yeah. And then I just see her like freeze by like where it is and like reach out and touch it. And it's like, oh shit. Right. And like her husband and the salesman come back and like they get out and like, so like nobody had told them. I assume that maybe nobody noticed and it was going to go out the door.
Person probably didn't even notice. Yeah.
Right. It was real obvious. And then she was going to think that she didn't even have the car. Like they were going to probably go out for dinner, right? And celebrate a new car, right? And then get back to it. And that's when they're going to see it. And they're going to be like, God damn it, I didn't even have this for 2 hours, right? So like when my wife and I left, we could see her sitting in the car and like some of the shine was gone, you know? And it was like, well, I feel like we did the right thing. I would definitely want somebody to tell me.
For sure.
Right?
For sure.
Yeah.
But it's like, look at my brand new headshot. I've never looked better. You had a poppy seed in your teeth for that. And yeah.
Exactly. Right. So, I mean, yeah, I didn't ruin her day, but I certainly changed it.
Yeah. No, you did the right thing, I think.
Yeah. Well, I had the consultation of my wife to guide me, so it wasn't me. Yeah. So, you know.
Well done, the two of you. I mean, also the bow on the Lexus thing is very strange. I feel like it's a weird phenomenon.
Yeah. Do other car dealers do this, like a giant ass bow?
I don't know.
I'm gonna Google Lexus bow because it's a thing. Yeah.
Well, and I think that, and I mean, I know that you guys are a Lexus family, but I do think that there is something to the idea that maybe the marriages of the people who buy Lexi are such that like surprising someone with a huge purchase is okay.
Right. Yeah.
Because I cannot, first of all, I don't think I'm not a Lexus shopper and neither is my wife. But if either one of us came home with any car with a bow on it, it would be what is this motherfucker? Like that would be the conversation.
Right. Which is probably how my wife got the Lexus before. Right? Because somebody thought they were a Lexus bow person. Turns out they weren't.
They thought they were in a Lexus marriage. They were not in a Lexus marriage.
No. And to be honest, my wife and I are not in a Lexus marriage either. Because if either one of us came home with a fucking bow, even if it was like a 20-year-old GS, right, on a trailer, it'd be a conversation. Right? Yeah, because that's what a marriage is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
That's really funny.
Yeah. Yeah.
They thought they were in Lexus Forms. We're not. That's great. Yeah, it is a weird. I find it weird, and
Right.
I find the depictions of marriage in those commercials extremely unrealistic.
Yes. Yes. Right. Especially because they're not in a gigantic compound mansion where, like, you could tell that that's an impulse purchase and apparently that's just fine. No, they're in like a 3-bedroom house, suburban area where, no, like, that thing costs like 1/10 as much as your house. We need to talk.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Totally.
I'm sorry. Merry Christmas to us. You locked me into a $1,200 for 72-month car payment. Great gift, Tom.
72 months.
Right?
Oh man.
Yeah. 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 So, the Lexus Bow. Yeah. I should have stolen it. Just their security camera just has me like shoving it in the back of my wife's RX, like wrestling, somehow losing to it.
Comes over the PA. Sir, that bow does not belong on your pants.
For the 3rd time today. Yeah, they have it pre-recorded. Yeah. So yeah. Yeah, there you go. We're not a Lexus family. Not a Lexus family.
Hilarious.
And very happy to not be a Lexus family.
Right? Absolutely.
Oh,
communication's good.
Yeah.
I have one thing I want to talk about. So I think we've probably talked about this on the show before, but I am at a large IT conference this week.
Yes.
And I cannot tell you. So last night was a late night. We were supposed to record last night. I ended up getting roped into some like troubleshooting stuff that went late. And then afterwards, some of us went and got like a beer to kind of like wind down.
Got to decompress, man.
Like, yeah. And I ended up connecting with another car person. And man, when you find a car person in a not car setting, it's like an oasis in the desert. Right.
It's
like, oh, it's just so. I mean, already I'm at a conference, and it's the first day, and I am already sick of the sound of my own voice.
Right.
But getting to chat cars for an hour is just the best.
So I want to know, what was the thing where, like, what was the wide stance that one of you took in the Minneapolis airport that let you know the other one was hip to talking about cars?
You know what? So it was actually like kind of we kind of knew about it each other before, because my company uses Teams, right, for whatever, and that has like my dumb face on it. But then if I don't have my camera on, but some of the other groups that I have to interface with for this conference that I'm doing, they use Zoom.
Okay.
And that is a picture of my car on the back of a flatbed is my avatar.
From when we probably joined someone else's podcast, right?
Probably.
Yeah.
From forever ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I just don't use Zoom that often. And so he was like, "Is that a Volkswagen?" And it turns out he has a Mark 6 GTI.
Okay.
He has a 1973 BMW, not the 2002, the bigger one. I can't remember what it is now, but it's really cool. It's like a really beautiful blue.
Okay.
God, I can't remember the model name of that. And he has like an old Ford Ranger that he keeps running. So and he like wrenches on all that stuff, but he's a big Volkswagen guy. He was telling me his first car was like an old Volkswagen Squareback.
Oh, nice.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, it was very nice to find a automotive oasis in the storm of IT nonsense.
and on top of that, like a fairly lined up, like heavy Venn diagram overlap automotive enthusiast, right?
For sure. Yeah. We had a whole like 20-minute conversation about Rock Auto. I mean, like you do.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Like the fact that you could like, it's like being able to like go between like Spanish and Italian, right? Like,
right.
Yeah. I like that. That's great, man. That's fantastic. Yeah. What did he think of your R32?
Oh, he thought it was really cool. Like he said he always liked those cars. So
yeah.
I told him all about it.
Okay. Yeah. Did you tell him about like maybe thinking about other stuff or like, yeah?
No, not really. We were mostly talking about, like just common Volkswagen experiences. So, just electrical failures and, that sort of thing.
Right. Right. Gotcha. Well, that's really cool.
And I was really, curious about his BMW.
Yeah.
So very cool.
Also, I feel like we're past the point of time in which somebody accidentally owns a Ford Ranger.
Mm-hmm. Oh, for sure.
Right?
Yeah.
People accidentally own Chevy Colorados or, right? Mm-hmm. Like, that stuff. But at this point, nobody accidentally owns a Ford Ranger.
Yeah. Especially from the 90s. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we were kind of commiserating too about the Ranger too, with like that era of American cars where like half of it is metric and half of it is standard. It is such a fucking nightmare.
Right.
Yeah. And then like he was talking about how like that engine was basically like, it was based on an engine from the 60s, but they're trying to meet emissions in the late 90s. And so like year to year, they're making tiny changes. He said one of the things he brought up was like one of the gaskets in the engine. I don't remember which one. They didn't change the shape of the gasket or anything like that. But from year to year, they would change the thickness of the gasket.
Okay. Wow.
Right.
Yeah.
And it just reminded me so much of like the fight we had with that Vortec in the pickup truck, right? Because that's the same era, and it was the same bullshit of like, this is an ancient engine,
right?
And they're trying to get it to make it meet emissions and do all this other stuff. And why not have an ECU and a distributor? Yeah, that's a great.
Cool.
Why not both?
Cool.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Right on. Oh, wow. I never thought about, I thought you were going to say that one, like the gaskets originally came like with one cooling passage plugged up, right? And you had to like manually cut it out. And like, that's how you knew you were in the know. Right. Mm-hmm. But the fact that they were changing the thickness of the gasket year to year. Yeah. Because there was a Ford engineer slapping 3 gaskets together and then doing some kind of data reading. Mm-hmm. And then they were like, fine, yes. Yeah.
Yeah. And he also said that like apparently the Rangers got rear disc brakes for 2 years before it was discontinued.
Really? Okay.
Mm-hmm. And then like, and they were from like an 03 Crown Vic or something.
Okay.
And then, but before that, they had the rear drums from like, a 1982 F100 or whatever,
right.
Like, just total parts bin car.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, the discs were sold. They had Henry Ford's like Nazi swastika stamped into them. Yeah. My 88 and 94 Nissan pickup trucks both had drums on the rear. Yeah, and I mean our 2008 Lemons truck had drums on the rear. Yeah,
which is kind of wild for 2008,
right?
I mean,
yeah. Speaking of Lemon's truck, do you want to hear the diagnosis of the failure?
That took us down? Have one.
Yeah, yes, I totally spaced it until now. Joel and I went up to the barn yesterday, and we worked on the truck, Ian. And
Okay.
I would like you to see if you can find the difference between these two wheel bearings. I can do zoomies and enhancies for you. Oh, no, I can't.
Oh, wait. I think is that what just sheared off?
The one on the left?
Yeah.
Yeah, the one on the left is completely cracked around the circumference of where the hub.
Is that two pieces now? Where it's supposed to be one piece?
Yeah. Yeah. So the axle could spin while the lugs just stayed in one place.
That is wild.
Yeah. Yeah.
Huh.
Easiest wheel bearings I've ever removed. Joel and I rolled up, slide hammer, all of the tools, fully caffeinated, breakfast burritos in our tum-tums, ready to go.
Well, I mean, it's real easy if it's like this, right? It just falls apart.
Right? Yeah. But like, undid the bolts and both sides just literally just fell out. Like they just did not. I mean, the one I did on the M45 on the front passenger side, I had to take breaks from slide hammering. I'm not kidding. Apologize to my neighbor for the continued noise. Get some electrolytes and then take 2 or 3 more stabs at it. Yeah. Yeah. But these just bloop right out. And like the Moog parts are like the good Moog wheel bearings are only like $30 or something. They're super cheap. Yeah.
That's great.
So thankfully Joel had those ready to go. Had we had more time in the race, we could have been back and running, I don't know, in 20 minutes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was easy. I don't want to jinx it, but yeah, we took the truck for a test drive and everything after that. And clutch pedal was a little slow to return. We think that that's like the crazy race brake fluid that's just been sitting for, since September.
Needs to be changed.
Yeah, probably has tons of water in it. So yeah, right. So yeah, but there's your problem.
Yeah.
Right? Never seen a wheel bearing do that before.
That's crazy.
Right? Yeah.
That's pretty dramatic.
It is, right? Yeah. Front driver's side, man, just gave up, homie.
You gave up in the face of all 97 horsepower.
It did. It really did. Oh, yeah. Joel was like, God, the brakes look brand new. I was like, yeah, that's because we were braking with wind resistance.
Throw your hand out the window.
Yeah.
Then to slow down to the corner.
He was like, until I drove this car, I never realized that there was an uphill part before you got to turn 4.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. So, also got some graphics printed up for the truck, just kind of like threw one on the hood to see how it's going to look.
Oh yeah. That looks great.
Thanks, man. Yeah. So we'll clean the surface and then apply those. Yeah. So
that looks really cool.
I even did one with the face facing forward for each side, the driver and passenger side.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So there you go, man. Cowabunga Motor Club, baby. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's exciting. Are you guys, do you have plans? Do you know what the schedule is for next year yet?
They have put out the schedule. That reminds me, I need to see if I can get an RV space at High Plains. I'm going to do that before I go to bed tonight. Yeah. So I think as we're going to properly congeal plans before the first of the year, but plan is, I'm going to refresh the junkyard motor that's in my garage. Probably drop that in, either that or we're going to drop in the Frankentech that Joel's building, and then rebuild what's in there now, kind of go from there. Yeah. But full on plans to race. And I will certainly let you know as things come together because I need my boy to drive. So
I would love to drive. I have done 0 races this year.
Yeah.
And I would like to remedy that.
Yeah. Yeah. The Severnuk work chip needs to get cashed in so my gray-haired brother can drive this car delightfully slow around the track.
Yeah. I at least want to drive it at a track day because I'm very curious as to how it handles and all that.
Way better than you would think. Way better than it deserves to handle. The HHR is not a bad chassis. Yeah. So, there you go, man. Yeah. So
sweet.
Yeah. Root cause analysis, buddy. There you go. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we didn't know if like the drive shaft splines were going to be like completely sheared or what, but yeah. And it was
That's kind of what I thought it was. I thought it was going to be
Yep.
that.
Me too.
Right? That you were hearing that rattle around.
Yep. And that was cracked all the way around, and like you couldn't like turn it with your hand. It would only be like when the forces of like an actual engine turning it and the car trying to move that that was slipping, right? Yeah. And making horrendous noise.
It was real bad.
Yeah.
I mean, I heard it on the live stream. I was like, oh, wow.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So there you go. Yeah, buddy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
What else do we have?
You have, you got some stuff for us. You have an album at least, right?
I have an album for us. That might be it.
Okay.
I'm trying to think if there's anything else. No, I think that might be it. So do you want me to do my album?
Yeah,
or do you have
absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay.
I realized I wasn't showing people the pictures, so I'll drop those in when I edit the show. Okay.
Mm-hmm. So, I feel like I needed the audio equivalent of, when you're watching TV and it's like like maybe you're watching like Top Gear or something like that, and there's kind of like a moment of like danger, and you're like, well, they're not going to nothing's going to go bad because they're on TV.
Right.
And I feel like there are some records where you're like, oh, this is going to fall apart. Like this guy's voice is going to give out. The guitar is like barely in tune, whatever. But then you kind of think in the back of your head, well, they wouldn't put it on the record. That was what was going to happen.
Right. It sounds like they're building the plane while flying it. Yeah.
Yes. And you could just hear it sometimes in some records. And I just love that. And so I kind of feel like I'm in that mode right now.
Sure.
Where there's not a guarantee that I'm going to make it through today, but without like a horrendous screw up. But we're going to try.
Right. But the company sent you here. So.
Right. So that must mean it's going to work. So I wanted to lean into that feeling. And so I picked Source Tags and Codes by And You Will Know Us by the Trail of Dead. Like I said, I may have picked this one before. Don't care. It's what I was listening to today.
It's called what? Source what?
Source Tags and Codes.
Okay.
Yep.
You haven't picked this one before. I would remember this.
Okay, I've definitely done other Trail of Dead records before. I couldn't remember if I did this one or not. But yeah, this is the one that was like their big one, their very popular one.
Okay.
Very famously, Pitchfork gave it a 10 out of 10. It was a very controversial 10 out of 10 that they gave it back in the day. But it's a great record. It's loud and very ambitious.
Okay.
And it's like they're more ambitious than they have talent, but it just works.
Okay.
So
by God, they pulled it off.
Exactly. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Where like you are not only you enjoy it, you're enjoying it, you're impressed.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. Didn't think you guys had it in you.
Okay. All right. I think I might be in the mood for something like that, man.
Yeah. That's good.
Okay. What do you think? You know my putter routine pretty well, right? Mm-hmm. You know, like what kind of, the shit I'm up to, dude. It's not much. What do you think Dave is doing when he should put this on?
Oh. But you listen to, I think you select music slightly differently than I do, because I like to lean into whatever I'm feeling. Okay. Whereas I feel like maybe sometimes you like to, like, I need to feel this way, so I'm going to put this record
on. That's a, what kind of mood do I want to evoke versus like what kind of mood am I in that I feel like the album represents?
Right. At least when I'm feeling mopey, I want to mope. Right. So I'll put like mopey music on.
Sure.
I won't put something on to cheer me up.
Right. No. Right. And so I'm very similar. So like,
oh, okay, good. Okay.
Yeah. And my reasoning is that like, if I'm feeling bad, I don't want to put something on that I will associate at a later date with me feeling bad in that moment and a thing that I liked.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
It's about that pattern recognition for me. Right.
Okay.
But like,
so I listened to this morning. I was like, you know what? I'm going to get up. I'm going to do a workout.
Okay.
And I'm going to listen to this crazy record.
Okay.
And just try to take that energy.
Okay.
Into the day.
Okay. Sure. Yeah. Is this like I'm rage fixing a water pump or like I am cleaning off shelving in the garage?
I'm probably rage fixing. Rage fixing. This is a good rage fix album.
Okay.
Like.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. I appreciate that.
I mean, honestly, that's the energy that I bring to every mechanical thing that I ever do.
You do.
I'm going to drop a bolt. It's going to be, yeah. Yeah. I was telling so the guys that I was talking about cars with yesterday, I was like, I promise you I am the worst mechanic in the world. Because if there's a way to drop a bolt or make a 30-minute job into 8 hours, I will find it. I will break a tool. I will do all of the things.
Yeah. Hey, we all have those moments. It took me like 20 minutes to get a drop socket out of a frame rail when we were in the junkyard, like finding that engine that ended up having a hole in the block. Yeah.
It's the worst. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I had to drill a bunch of holes in a junkyard frame rail to get something in there to get the socket out. Yeah. So I hear you, but yes. And I'm the good mechanic of the two of us.
I know, right?
Yeah. So, okay. All right. Well, I will throw Bandcamp if they have it, Apple Music and Spotify links in the YouTube description for sure. Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Well, Dave, it's a short one. We did a car show.
It's okay. If we talked about car stuff, you got ran into and I ruined somebody's day. So,
great.
Yeah.
We're doing great.
I know what I'm getting you for Christmas. Crippling debt.
It can't be a Lexus because we do not have a Lexus marriage, Dave.
Oh no! I'm getting you a I don't know, just the worst Renault Le Car that I can find on Facebook Marketplace.
Oh my God.
Yep. Yeah. Pontiac LeBaron, I think, we have a Pontiac LeBaron marriage, you and I.
Yeah.
Pontiac, Chrysler LeBaron. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Dave, if people want to show us their cars for our year-end episode, what should they do? Yeah.
They should definitely email them or text them. apexadjacent@gmail.com. Text 720-515-1391. Yeah. And show us your cars.
Yeah, absolutely. We will review them. We will talk about them at our year-end show.
We will celebrate them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll put a bow on them, maybe. We won't do that. And find us on Blue Sky.
Yep.
And 720-515-1391. Everybody, thank you. We love you. Goodbye.